They were rocked by the news today that the English FA has suspended Kieran Trippier for 10 weeks for breaking betting regulations. And it's not just an English ban, it's for the whole of the world, which obviously means that he can't play for Atleti during those 10 weeks, including their Champions League match. Sid, am I right in thinking, now, tell me if I'm wrong here, basically Trippier told some mates that he looked like he was going to move to Madrid. His mates put the bet on, and that's where he broke the rules. This seems incredibly harsh.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm very cautious about this because I want to see what's in the written report. I want to see what exactly it is that the English FA are accusing him of. But this is the version of the story that we have been led to believe over the last months, because this has been going on for a very long time. And if that is the case, then to be honest with you, I completely agree. It seems bizarre to be in a situation in which if you are changing jobs, changing country, moving house, you don't tell your friends, and then if your friends are foolish enough or maybe just didn't think about it enough to put a bet on, I don't really see how that's his fault. I don't particularly see how that affects the integrity of the game. I think the only victims of this are the bookmakers themselves, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's fine, but I don't think it's about the results or about whether or not football itself is clean. I think there is an implicit hypocrisy in how close football's relationship is with bookmakers, and then this kind of approach to gambling regulations. Now, it's true that the gambling regulation is there and the players know about it, but as I say, I think we have to see what's in the written report. But on the face of it, at least, I'm with you on this, in that this just seems very, very overblown to me. It seems a very, very significant step for essentially telling friends that you might be leaving the country, which it seems to me to be a very normal thing to do. I mean, you'd be pretty surprised, Dan, I think, if tomorrow it just suddenly turned out that I was living in Paris.
Oh, I don't know. I think your wife would be more surprised. I think Claire and the rabbit and the dog would be a bit more surprised. And Trippier, of course, has been so key to Atleti this season. Did you tweet out that he's played every single minute of the Champions League and La Liga?
Yeah. Yeah, he in truth, he had a difficult start to the season, but he's played really, really well for the last 4 or 5 weeks. And of course, one of the reasons why he was playing even after that difficult start was because they don't actually have a natural replacement for him. They don't have someone with whom they can rotate him. And so essentially, Atletico Madrid are now in a position where basically the only player who doesn't have a replacement, although Vesalico is now coming back to fitness, is the player who will be out for a while. Now, Atletico Madrid's position, at least this afternoon, now I'm not sure if this has shifted in the last 3 or 4 hours, was that while they'd seen the statement, while they'd seen the news reports, they hadn't formally been told anything yet. And so, of course, at that point, they said, well, we can't really respond to this until we know exactly what we're being told, until we know exactly the implications both for Trippier and for the club. And then at that point, of course, they can then make a decision. Now, that decision could involve some sort of appeal against this. That decision could involve saying, well, actually, we'd like to take this to a higher authority. But there is no decision made on what their course of action is, because they're saying, well, we need to see this first, and we need to see it in a formal sense. It's not enough just to have read this, because, of course, it's formal insofar as the FA have announced it. We need to have this addressed to us and know in what position we find ourselves before we move on. And as I say, I too am in that position. I'm not important, but I'm in that position in terms of a judgment or a sense of how fair this is, because we need to know exactly what it is he's been accused of doing.
Yeah, and that's important to stress, that obviously until the report is published, it's all speculation at the moment. But if it is the case that he told some mates he was going and they put bets on, 10 weeks, Ali, seems incredibly excessive.
Look, pardon my gambling ignorance, which is plenty, I must admit. You can gamble on somebody's transfer?
Yes.
And how, to the point that Sid is making, right? That you are in communication with your friends. Hey guys, I won't be here tomorrow, but I can't tell you where I'm going, so I'll see you when I see you. It's nonsense. It really is nonsense. And how can you draw the connection between you telling some friends and then they go and make their own decision? How does that then go back to you? Is this some sort of insider trading that we're going with here? Is this how we are in some way trying to to make sense of it all, it feels like a lot. It feels like it's just too much punishment. And I think the connection is very tenuous between Kieran Trippier, his move to Atletico Madrid, and then some friends going and betting on it. Maybe you should address the fact that you can actually bet on this to begin with. And who are the degenerates that are betting on this?
That's a key point. Ali, that's a key point. I really do think that's a key point. Look, first of all, we're talking about a bet that's not about the integrity of the sport, in the sense that this isn't match fixing. This isn't a player saying, tell you what, for a certain amount of money, I'll go and score an own goal, or whatever it may be. It does not affect the outcome of the game at all. It affects only the bookmakers. And so, as you say, if this is something that you think is open to abuse, and if this is problematic, don't have this market. Don't have this market. And that's the end of it.
I heard, though, Sid Lowe might be going to work for L'Equipe. So I think that's the bet.
Where do I place a bet?
To Paris. Thank you very much, boys. Just a reminder, we are with you every single day throughout the holidays. Whether you or we like it, we will be with you. Be sure to join us.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.